how to enable the discovery schedule. Based on that, how we can bring that certificate information from your infra system or from your source system to ServiceNow. Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Now Experts Time channel. In this channel, we discuss various topics with respect to ServiceNow, solutions, root cause analysis, etc. It can be discussed in this channel. So if you have time, you just refer those videos, may that will help you in your business landscape. So in the discovery certificate part, how it is helping to discover that certificate, that information we are going to talk today. In the last video, I just highlighted a high level understanding of how the end-to-end certificate lifecycle management architecture is behaving. The first item, how to do this certificate discovery for your existing CIs. So to enable this, I clearly highlighted it's look like a discovery schedule. So if you go to the discovery schedule, if you go to the discovery schedule, there is an option specifically available for your certificate discovery. For example, I just already created the discovery schedule here. So just click the new button. It will open that window. There you can configure that information. I just created some informations in the existing system. So I am opening that. So let's see how that discovery is happening for your certificates. I just click the new otherwise. Let's see. Maybe my system is slow. I'm just refreshing my screen here. The important part you need to understand is how to give the instruction, how to give the instruction for your certificates. So for this case, the important part is the discover field. So the discover field, it is highlighting to the system what I need to do the discovery. So in this discover, you can see the configuration items, IP addresses, networks, cloud applications, etc. So when you talk about this certificates, there are two items you need to consider. One is serverless and another one is certificates. So here you can select the certificates, and base once you select the certificates, this field will appear, certificate discovery type. As I mentioned in the earlier call or in earlier discussion, there are two items we need to consider. One is a URL based and another one is a CA trust discovery. So URL based discovery, www.google.com, www.netflix.com. So like that, if you give this website, based on the website, if you select this URL certificate discovery, then it will discover that URL informations, how that certificates are attached in that URL. If you want a specific item, like a trust discovery, this will help you with the help of with the existing target system using our patterns. So this import certificate, it's pretty straightforward. There is an Excel sheet available in your common drive somewhere. So this schedule, it will talk to your Excel sheet and it will bring that information from the source to your target system, that is called ServiceNow. So here I'm just selecting any one like a CA trust discovery. And which met server it is associated for this discovery, you must select this met server. The met server should work and it should run. If you scroll down, there is a serverless execution pattern. This is important part, you need to understand it. If you go this option, I'm just clicking a new button here, it will show the pattern. So this pattern is supporting to discover that CI from your target system. For example, I just put just star certificate. Here you can see total 6 certificate informations patterns are available. Microsoft SafetyGo, Import SSL, DigiCert, Entrust, GoDaddy. Here in my session, I have selected the two system. One is a DigiCert and another one is a Microsoft CA. So if you select any one, for example, I select Microsoft CA and I put NET some name. It's a user defined name. NET Microsoft Certificate Discovery Pattern. Just click submit or save. Here you can see the parameters. This needs to be filled properly so that it will work. Mainly which item we need to configure is this IP address. What is mean by the parameter? What I need to consider in this parameter? That informations I explained in this link. So if I go to this link, it will explain that information, what it mean by IP, what it mean by discover SAN for template, what it mean by template list, etc. So mainly you need to configure IP address so that it will do that configurations, or so that it will do the discovery from the certificate lifecycle management. So I just go here, let's see, is it populating? Yes. Create a serverless schedule for Microsoft Certificate Authority. If you scroll down, it will explain that information one by one, like what is IP address, what is you can see here template list, start, offset, limit, IP, etc. So this IP, what it is referring us, which CA process is running. So this IP, it is referring such serve. So how to identify this IP information is, you talk to your Microsoft team, they will help you what IP you need to configure in your parameter. Just go back. So this page will help you to understand that each and every parameter what I need to configure. So once you configured it, if you have any proxy host, this item you need to check with your LDAP and the network team. So when you enable this configuration, you need a two team. Here I selected the source system as Microsoft. So you need a Microsoft team plus network team. Microsoft network and ServiceNow, if three work together, then we can solve this problem and you can discover that certificate from your business landscape. Just click update now. So once I click, then it will save that information there. After saving this information, you can do the discover now button and you can discover it. So here you can see the discover now button. If you click this, then it will do the discovery. And the next thing is credentials. If anything is associated, that is also you need to configure. So what are all the things you need to remember? What are all the things it is must for this discovery part, specifically for your Microsoft? First, install the Met server. Based on the Met server, we are opening or we are connecting two systems. That means ServiceNow and Microsoft, and check that Met server is having appropriate port and firewall configurations enabled or not. What are all the ports and firewalls needs to be enabled? That clarity also I highlighted in this link. If you click, it will show that link information in this page. Some list of port details are already available. You talk to your firewall team and showcase this page, document page, and try to open those ports in your business landscape. So you can see these are all the ports. It's important to run your certificate discovery in the business landscape. So once it is shared, once it is enabled, then your discovery will do a further action. I go back here. Next, you need to configure this pattern. Here I selected as a certificate discovery pattern. So once you selected, you need to configure that appropriate parameter information. The main appropriate parameter information is IP. So I highlighted that IP detail in the page. uh, what is that IP? If any questions are coming from your network team or LDAP team, you just showcase this page and explain what it mean by. So once you got this all clarity, once you configured this all informations, go back and do the discovery with the help of discover now button. So this is a way the certificate discovery it will work. This is for a CA trust discovery we talked about. Similar way, if you want to do a URL based discovery, that means you take an example called netflix.com, amazon.com, something like that. The website also having a certificates. You want to do that website related certificates, then you need to go for URL certificate discovery here. So here once you select, see the tab, it is completely vanished. It is coming as a certificate URL here. You need to select that URL name. So before that I need to save. Once it is saved, then you need to configure that URL which what you want to discover in the certificate basis. So I saved it here. If you take I already created one of the simple website, that is www.google.com. Earlier I think it is vanished. I need to go back and I need to create a new one, and I need to call that item from left bucket to right bucket. Then finally it will support. I click a new button. So here you need to configure that URL, which URL you want to do that certificate discovery. For example, Netflix. I'm just saying Netflix is an example, but though it's not an original one, I'm just putting a dummy data like this. So if you have this netflix.com, you just do it, otherwise leave it. Because if you go that netflix.com also, there is a lock symbol, it will show uh, inside the lock symbol, it will show the certificate as well. So it will come this lock symbol in this. You can see here connection is secured. So in this connection certificate, you can see the certificate informations, right? If I expand, you can see the certificate details, everything it is available here. So you can do this type of certificate discovery via that URL based discovery. Just go back here. So I just put the Netflix configurations here. Once you configured, then you need to run the discovery. The main thing is this URL is accessible in the mid server installed machine. That's important. So currently I have, it's my personal instance. I can't do any discovery. So if you go your business instance, definitely it is doable because that mid server is having appropriate connectivity with the source system. So once it is done, then your major worry is done. You can see that output in your CMDB underscore CI certificate dot list. This table is helping to see the result, how many certificates are discovered, what are all the certificates, everything it will be stored here. So you can cross verify what are all the certificates are recently discovered. Try to bring the most recent discovery field here. So you take this, This most recent discovery and discovery source field, it is helping to understand what are all the items recently discovered, where this discovery is coming from. That clarity it will give these two fields. So this is a pretty straightforward one. The next thing is we need to understand the pattern. So when you talk this certificate discovery, it's a pattern based certificate discovery and pro based certificate discovery. There are two things are there. So when you go for a pattern based discovery, this pattern based discovery, there is an out of box patterns already available when you enable this plugins. So put certificate. Here you can see this. These are all the patterns are currently available. If you want to do any test, you can do directly the testing in this patterns. For example, DigiCert or Microsoft. If you open, so the pattern designer will appear. In this pattern designer, there is an option called test the pattern. Just give me some time. It'll take time to load the data. In your top right corner, there is an option it will show to do the testing in the existing patterns. So it will require some parameters. You need to configure that parameter and run the test, and you can understand the results, how it is performing, how it is working. The result will display in this pattern itself. So this is another valid testing, sorry, troubleshooting steps you can do, like check pattern. Here you can give this appropriate mid server and IP and just run it, and you can see the results. So this is another way whether the pattern is working or not. So this is pattern oriented item. Next another item is, I'm talking about this props. So prop side, if you go here, discovery definition props, just open it, and here there is a various props are available. Specifically select the certificate one, just put star certificate. Here you can see the URL certificate, and a similar way just click star SSL. 1 minute. So there is a one more props are available. Just give me a minute, I will check the port props. Yes, here you can see this option called TLS SSL certificates. It should be enabled active true. Currently it is false. If it is active true, what it will do is, you already have a IP based discovery, right? So when you enable or when you run this IP based discovery, if these props are enabled, what are all the certificates are installed into that infra CI servers, those things also will be discovered. So to discover this information, this certificate will be helpful. So we are talking three items. One is CA based discovery, second URL based discovery, third when you enable this IP based discovery from your side, that time this probe will help you what are all the certificates are installed in your server. So that will give that clarity. Then what it mean by this discovery, maybe the confusions will have happen. So this discovery will do, that means this discovery directly connect to the Microsoft system and it will do the certificate discovery, and this discovery directly connect to your DigiCert and it will do the certificate discovery. This is one type of scenario. Another scenario is you have a separate server, the server also having a certificates. Infra CIs I'm talking about, infra servers I'm talking about. So physical server or virtual server, whatever it is. That server, what are all the certificates are available, those certificates needs to be discovered with the help of this TLS SSL certs from discovery probes. Only thing it will work when you enable this active true, and you can see the result in the table, how it is populating, how it is building the relationship, etc. It will showcase the detail in this table itself. I hope it makes sense how to do the discovery from the certificate point of view. Thanks for your time. Stay tuned and subscribe this channel to understand more interesting and niche topic from ServiceNow. Good day and goodbye.